Hey guys, so today I'm finally going to share my birth story. I'm super excited to share this experience, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Champel, and today I'm going to actually share my birth story. So let's jump right in. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you do that, as well as hit the like button and the bell to be notified when I post more videos. So before I get started, I would like to say that this channel is basically going to be about me raising my daughter and mistakes that I make, as well as victories that I have, as well as being a first-time mom. So Jalen was supposed to be born on June 20th, 2021. However, because she's my child, she decided to make an early appearance, and she was actually born on June 11th, 2021. I am a very strict person. I like to have a calendar plan. I like to write things down, and I like to go by the book. So in my mind, my pregnancy would not be any differently. I assumed that Jalen would do what I said when I said, which means that she was supposed to come on June 20th, not early. So I know I hear a lot of people say how bad their pregnancy was and how miserable they were and how big they felt. I actually did not have a very bad pregnancy. I definitely gained about 30 pounds. I ended up being 169 when I finally delivered, and I started at about 138. But my entire pregnancy was not bad. I was mobile the entire time. The only negative thing that I had was way too much morning sickness. And I actually don't know why they call it morning sickness, because I was throwing up in the morning, the evening, the afternoon. I literally couldn't keep anything down, not even water. But other than that, I actually had a great pregnancy. I worked the entire time. Literally, I worked up until Baby J decided to make her grand entrance. Actually, I literally was trying to go to work the day she actually made her entrance. However, my best friend forced me to go to the hospital, and thank God she did, because I literally made it just in time. But we'll get to that. So the week prior to me actually delivering, I started to have Braxton Hicks. And again, this is my first pregnancy, so I didn't know what to expect. So, my stomach's hurting, my stomach's cramping, and I'm having appointments every week at this time. And so my doctor's telling me that's normal. My cervix has not dilated at all. So everything is moving how it's supposed to move. And just being me, I'm like, okay, she's doing exactly what she's supposed to do. Great. I'm trusting my body to do exactly what it's supposed to do. Great. So I can continue to go on as I normally do. So I'm still getting her room ready. I'm trying to spray paint her name that's on her wall. Her furniture is in. I'm setting up her books and everything, because I want to have everything I need to have ready for when she does decide to make her grand appearance. So I'm at the hospital during one of my regular visits or checkups, and my doctor can't feel her move. So at this time, I'm about 37 weeks pregnant, which means that she should be moving constantly. However, I don't know if she was asleep or what, but she was just not moving for a few hours. So they made me drink like very sweet juice, and hopefully that was supposed to get her moving. I was eating snacks. Hopefully that was supposed to get her moving. None of that worked. So they ended up hooking me up to some kind of machine or whatever that shocks your stomach, and it's supposed to make the baby move. Not my baby. She was really in there asleep. So long story short, I ended up having to get an ultrasound done to make sure that there was still a heartbeat and make sure that everything was okay. So I'm getting the ultrasound. The ultrasound tech, she puts the gel on my belly. She's moving it around, wiggling it or whatever. Still not moving. So I ended up getting admitted to the hospital, because now they're thinking something wrong. And of course, I'm panicking like, no, I still have 3 weeks. It's not time. And I'm freaking out. So I'm laid in the hospital. I'm calling my fiance, just like, hey, something's wrong. I don't know what's happening, but she's not moving. By the time everybody gets situated and settled, guess who wakes up? My daughter. However, at this point, my cervix is still not dilated, and turns out it's just Braxton Hicks. So everything is fine. My body is still doing what it's supposed to do. I get discharged and I get sent home. Like I said, I'm still going to work. I'm making TikToks with my students. I'm just living my day-to-day life. So anyway, Jalen was born again on June 11th. So on June 10th, the night before is actually around like 3 o'clock in the morning. That's when my mucus plug actually came out. So again, this is my first pregnancy, so I don't know anything about any of this stuff. Luckily, my coworkers, they were very transparent with me and they told me everything that I should expect and all of this stuff. So they had literally told me about that happening a couple days, so I was prepared for it. But again, I had been going to the doctor regularly, and my doctor told me that that did not exactly mean that you were going into labor. So me being me, I'm like, of course I'm not going in labor. I have 3 more weeks, right? So it happens. I get back in bed like nothing ever happened. I just let my fiance know, like, hey, my mucus plug came out, but I think everything's fine. Boom. Instantly, I started having contractions, but they're about 15, 20 minutes apart. And so I just let them know, like, hey, my stomach really hurts. Like, I don't know what's going on, but in my mind, it's Braxton Hicks because I literally just came from the doctor and this same thing was happening. So I just blow it off. 3 hours happen. I get up and I start getting ready for work. I'm moving a little slower than normal. And he will tell you to this day, there's a moment when I'm getting ready and I just pause because a contraction hits me like a freight truck. And I just have to take a moment. But I handle it. I get dressed. He ends up dropping me off at my friend's house because she was going to take me to work because remember, I don't have a car at this moment. So I get to my friend's house and I'm on her couch just kind of chilling because I don't have to be to work till 8. But whatever. He had to go to work earlier than I did. So I'm on her couch just kind of laying down and I cannot get comfortable. Like my stomach's starting to hurt. And at this point, it's my stomach and my butt. Everything's starting to hurt. And I'm just like, man, these Braxton Hicks are really, they're serious. And nobody told me about it, but I'm handling it because I don't want to bother her because she's still trying to get her sleep. Anyway, I can't get comfortable on the couch, and I think it's her couch. So I ended up going to my niece's room, and I'm just laying on her little JoJo Siwa covers, and I'm just laying, and just the contractions are coming. And at this point, they are maybe, I'm going to say about 5-6 minutes apart. So my friend Jazz is also pregnant, so I messaged her like, girl, I think I'm dying. And she's just hitting me up. She's calm, and she was on her second child, so she kind of already been through this. So she's like, what's going on? You know, and I'm telling her, like, my stomach is killing me. Like, maybe it's Braxton Hicks or whatever. And she asked, well, these are contractions. You're having contractions. How far apart are they? So, of course, my mind, I get the idea, boom, let me go to my timer, and every time I feel something, I'm going to just hit stop. And so I record them, and at this moment, they're about 2 to 3 minutes apart. She's like, girl, you need to go to the hospital. So finally, my friend wakes up. She walks in the hallway, and I'm just like curled up in a fetal position like, Courtney, I think I'm dying. She's like, what is wrong? And I'm just like, my booty hurt, my stomach hurt, like everything hurts. And she's like, girl, why didn't you wake me up or whatever? And I told her, like, I wanted her to get some sleep, and that everything was cool because I'm just having Braxton Hicks. And I told her, like, just take me to work. I'm going to be all right. I'm going to power through it because I have 3 more weeks. I know my daughter not coming right now. Anyway, so she tells me, no, you're about to go to the hospital. You're in labor. I tell her, no, you're going to take me to work because I need my money. Whatever. We're going back and forth about it. We're walking out the door. And boom, another contraction hits me, me talking noise to her about her taking me to work. That's when she said, yeah, I'm taking you to the hospital. So we're on our way to Texas Children, which is where I delivered. And she told me, call your mom, call Jordan, tell them that you're about to have a baby. So I'm on the phone like, yeah, Courtney thinks I'm in labor. She's taking me to the hospital. She's overreacting. And of course, give me the phone. She's going into labor. Meet us at the hospital. Now, click. This girl is speeding. And I am honestly very surprised that there is not a hole in her passenger side floor, because those contractions were hitting me like crazy. But I was taking it. Finally, we literally pulled up to the hospital at 8:30. 8:30 a.m. we pull up to the hospital. She gets me up. Boom, we go to the 9th floor, labor and delivery. As I'm literally checking in, handing the man my ID, my water broke. I'm like, I think I peed on myself, guys. So that lets me know, like, oh, this is really happening. So I'm letting my sister know. My sister leaves work and she comes walking in with Whataburger pancakes. Of course, like, at this point, my contractions are still, remember, they're 1-2 minutes apart now. And so, but I'm taking it. I'm strong. I'm dealing with this. And I'm trying to eat pancakes, and the nurse comes out or whatever, and she's like, hey, what's your pain level? And I was like, 4 or 5. And of course, my best friend, no, she's at an 8-9. She's in active labor. She going off. My sister's telling these people, like, look, y'all gonna deliver this baby, or y'all can bring me some gloves out and I'll deliver the baby. And I'm just like, guys, we got this. So the nurse explains basically how it works is they try to take, it's tiered. They try to take who's in the most pain or who's in the most active labor. And because I'm not acting as though I'm going to die, she passes over me. She goes and talks to a few more moms and then comes back and says, well, you're in luck. Turns out that your problem is the most intimate. Thank God. Because I get to the room or whatever, and at this point, I feel like I have to poop. And I'm saying, like, I have to boo-boo after boo-boo. And my sister's like, okay, let's go to the bathroom, but make sure you don't push. And I'm like, no, I have to push. So I'm literally sitting on the toilet like I'm about to go to the bathroom. And she's like, do not push. Do not have this baby. Or she said, my niece, do not have my niece in the toilet. And I'm like, I'm not about to have a baby. At this point, I don't even want to do it no more. So I told her, you know what? Let's go home. We'll try this again another day. I'm going to go home. She lets me know, baby, it don't work like that. So we get back in the bed. The doctor, the nurse comes in and she texts me. She's like, you're 8 centimeters. It's not registering to me. So I'm like, okay, well, when am I getting my epidural? Because I have a birth plan. I'm supposed to have an epidural. I want a little mirror so I can see what's going on. Jordan's going to cut the umbilical cord, and we're going to live happily ever after and sing Kumbaya as a family. That's my plan. No. God laughed at me. My sister's in the corner like, oh, baby, you're not getting the epidural. No, yes, I am, or the baby isn't coming. So I have very small veins, so they poked me once. They weren't able to get the needle in to do my blood work or anything. So they end up putting it in my hand. So for the next 3 days, I have a freaking needle sticking out of my hand. The lady comes in and shoves a Q-tip up my nose. And of course, I'm, whoa, what's happening there? And she's like, look, I have to test you or I'm going to have to treat you as positive. And I'm just like, okay, well, can you let me know? Because that's kind of rude, don't you think? So I calm down and she does it all far up my nose, and of course the test comes back negative for COVID, so I don't have to wear a mask or anything, and I'm able to just deliver as normal. During this time, of course, it's COVID, so I'm only allowed to have 2 people in the room. Those 2 people were my mom and Jordan. Jordan literally makes it right in time. So after they get the needle in, after they COVID test me or whatever, they find out I'm 8 centimeters. They're like, okay, we gotta go. So they moved me to a birthing suite. Y'all, I am wheelchaired into the birthing suite. As I'm being wheelchaired into the room, I'm getting up or trying to get up out of the wheelchair like, I gotta boo-boo. I have to boo-boo, y'all. I don't know if you've ever had a baby, but if you have not, it just feels like you really gotta poop. And so I'm telling them, like, y'all, I gotta go. And they're like, do not push. Do not push. And I'm like, I gotta push. I gotta push. So I'm getting out the chair and I'm pushing at this point because how do you stop that? So as I'm getting in the bed, I finally, I literally get one leg in the bed and I have to push because I can't. So I'm getting out of the wheelchair and I'm getting into the bed. Here comes another nurse pushing in a little ultrasound cart, and the head nurse is like, "Oh, baby, she don't need that. It's way too late for that." So they back right on up, and I'm just like, "What is going on?" It's happening so fast, y'all. So I finally tell her, "Look, I'm about to push that. Catch it. Just catch it." So she's like, "Okay, baby, go ahead, push." I just push. Boop, there go my baby head. And then she's like, "Okay, well, keep pushing." I push, boop, whole baby here, y'all. I pushed twice. No epidural, twice. I literally delivered my daughter at 9:31 a.m. and I made it to the hospital at 8:30. I was at the hospital for 1 hour and 1 minute, and I had a whole human. No epidural, no stirrups, no doctor. Did I say no doctor? Y'all, my doctor did not even make it in time. She walked in as the nurse was pulling my baby out, and she was taking her over to the little baby station to get her cleaned up and everything. She's like, "Oh, I did not expect that to happen." So everybody's telling me how this does not happen. Like most first-time parents or first-time moms, they're usually in labor for hours at a time. But basically I did all of the hard work at home. Like my labor started at 3 o'clock that morning, and I had my daughter at 9:31. So I was in labor for 6.5 hours, which still isn't that bad considering people tell you about these 20-30 hour labor stories. So I am very blessed, but I will not let that fool me, because I hear all these stories about how, oh, their first child are so great. Their first child was a blessing. And then that second one's the devil. So guess what? I'm going to hold off. Anyway, guys, my birth story, it was beautiful. Like everybody I wanted there was there, or for the most part, COVID kind of restricted a lot of stuff, because I would have loved to have Jordan's mom there, because this was her first grandbaby. So I would have loved for her to be able to experience that too. Unfortunately, we were only able to have 2 people in the room. But my birth story was amazing. My daughter is amazing. She literally came into this world before I told her to, but that just lets me know the type of person that I'm getting ready to deal with. She is feisty, independent, and she's a little human of her own, y'all. Overall, I would rate my experience a 9. If I wouldn't have had all that morning sickness and not been able to hold stuff down, it would have definitely been a 10. Like I was really a cute little pregnant. Like I was all belly. I didn't really gain a whole lot of weight anywhere else. I did have like a little chunky Prego face going on, but I already have a naturally round kind of face, so it didn't really hit me too hard. Other than that, y'all, I am super blessed to have given birth to a beautiful little baby girl. She was 6 pounds, 15 ounces, and 20 inches long. So she was a very cute little, small, little, petite little baby. We stayed in the hospital for 2.5 days, and then Jordan was over. He was ready to go. I personally could have stayed the whole week had they let me. Like, they feed you, they come check on you, they make sure the baby's good. They do not take your baby to that little room so you can get some sleep, though. That is no longer a thing. Your baby is right next to you the entire time you're at the hospital. So think of that. You don't get to get rid of that baby. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to my birth story. As you can see, I am super excited about my story. I'm super blessed to have had that experience, and I would love to do it again. If I can do it the exact same way, I for sure would. It did allow me to know how strong I was, and just to prove to me that women can truly do anything and everything. Like, it's amazing how our bodies work, and I absolutely recommend, if you can, go for it, because it just lets you know your body has way more potential than you think it does. So thank you guys so much for watching my birth story video. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. Bye.